amongst the supporters of channel member Kevin McKenna. Oh, everything is going our way. We're top of the league. We're undefeated. We're on a Carabao Cup run. We've knocked out Manchester City. Rob Harley's scoring goals and he's wanted by Bayern Munich. What on earth could possibly go wrong? Well, I guess him going to Bayern Munich would be something of a problem. There's also Valencia, Bologna, Girona, all in for him as well. There's some big clubs and Wolves all interested in bringing in Rob Harley. And he is having a lovely time now. He's finally becoming the player we always suspected he would end up being. 12 appearances, mostly off that right-hand side that we've been playing him in the last episode. 5 goals, 3 assists, 2 man of the matches, a 7.48 average rating. Rob Harley is good at football, and he's not the only one. That front four has been fantastic. Look at the average ratings in that front four. 7.39, 7.76, 7.39, 7.21. Tyjon, who plays in behind Higgins, has got 14 goal contributions in 12 matches. Higgins has got 10 from 11. Even Wang has got 6 from 13. We are very good going forward, but we've also fixed the defensive issues that we had last season as well. All of which means we are looking very, very good. We are winning football matches. We're winning them with some big score lines as well. We put 6 goals past West Ham. We put 4 past Huddersfield and Preston in our last couple of matches. We're capable of grinding out a 1-0 as well, as you've seen us do a few times there. And of course, we did beat Manchester City, and this is what the championship table looks like. Tyjon's the top scorer in the league. We don't have the top scorer currently, but we're not too far behind, but we're 3 points clear at the top of the league with a game in hand. And we're going to win that game in hand. That game in hand is against Wolves. We play them now. And then we're also going to be playing Premier League Sunderland in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup as we look to continue the cup run that we're on as well. But first up, it's Wolves. This is the team we're putting out there for the Wolves game. It's Charles in goal. A back four of Rajvad, Stojanovic, Graf and Shaha. Tingy, who is playing more and more often in midfield because we have a bit of a midfield shortage. So he's basically becoming a midfielder because we've got so many good defenders now. So Tingy alongside Armstrong in midfield, and then Wang, Tyjon and Harley behind Higgins up front. I realise there are occasions when we have 5 centre-backs on the pitch, with Tingy playing there. Shaha's a proper fullback, so it's only 4 centre-backs today. But yeah, we've gone 5 centre-backs, 1 midfielder, and then the 4 attackers on multiple occasions, and it's just been working. So it's not pretty at times, but it's effective. We should be better than we are at set pieces, but we're pretty good both attacking and defending set pieces, and we're scoring goals. We've got multiple players who are knocking in goals, and obviously, as you saw, we are winning football matches, which is jolly nice to see. And hopefully we can win another one here today against, as mentioned before, Wolves are a team who think they've got a chance of signing Rob Harley, which, considering they're below us in the league, I think they're living in a fantasy world. I think if it's a choice between Wolves and Bayern Munich, he probably chooses to go to Bayern Munich. He's already had one effectively sideways move in his young career already, moving from Wigan to Blackburn. I don't think his next move is to a 3rd championship club. I think he's on his way to a big Champions League, Europa League level club if he leaves. But he doesn't have a release clause. He's not asking to leave. And we're looking good for promotion to the Premier League. And I think if we can get up to the Premier League, I'd like to think that we can keep him for another season. I mean, if we can keep Higgins, Tyjon and Harley as a front 3, Wang doesn't get the credit he deserves, but he's a homegrown Blackburn boy as well. Higgins, Tyjon and Wang all came through our youth system. And obviously Harley came through the youth system at Wigan before we dragged him over here as well. So it's still a relatively young front 4, and they're all homegrown, and we've got to try and keep them together because I think this front 4 would be fine for a mid-table Premier League team. Harley playing into Tyjon, and that was a big opportunity. That he doesn't miss chances like that very often. He's scoring at the same rate as Higgins so far this season, which when we first arrived at Blackburn, we looked at Tyjon's career so far, and the one thing that was missing was consistent goals. He got 20 plus goals last season once we started playing him in this shadow striker role. And like I say, he's going goal for goal with Higgins so far this year, although Wolves have managed to keep the two of them quiet so far today. Shaha looking to play it forward to Harley, but doesn't find him. The former Wigan connection on that right-hand side not really working out on that occasion, but Wang wins it back, and Higgins now looks to release Wang, and Wang is in, and Wang scores. I'd spend so much time talking about the other three, but Wang is just as important a part of this front four as any of them, and he demonstrated why there. He's so quick. Look at the ground he makes up there and everybody around him. It's just pure pace that blasts him into that position to put us ahead in the match. And we spent a lot of money in the summer on Farah from Tottenham, who is even younger than Wang. He's not much older than Harley. But we brought him in with a view to him playing on that left-hand side, and Wang just will not let him have a look in because he continues delivering top-tier performances like the one we're getting out of him today. And with an hour gone, we're 1-0 up, and that puts us even further clear at the top of the table. With only just over a quarter of the season gone, we could be 6 points clear in the Championship with that undefeated record. I've talked many times before about how it's close to impossible to do an invincible season in FM, because if the game thinks you're getting too good, it'll just give you a defeat against the team third from bottom just to put you in your place and keep you honest. So I know it's very early to even be talking about it. We're changing 3 of the front 4 because we can. It is very early to be talking about it, and I don't want to tempt fate into putting me in my place, because the game will take care of that for me. But goodness me, we're looking good at the moment, aren't we? We are looking very good, and to be in a position with the strength in depth we've got to be able to change 3 of the front 4. We still haven't even brought Farah on, so we could change the whole front 4 for very, very good players. Wang is the one who's stayed on to give us an extra 10 minutes, but he'll be coming off pretty soon as well because he's getting tired. And we've just got we've got the strength in depth in the attack that we didn't have last year. There was that spell last year where Higgins got injured. We had to stick Harley up front. He wasn't really scoring. We didn't really have a backup plan, any kind of plan B. Well, that is a completely changed front 4. And that's a front 4 that would be pretty close to the top of the Championship as well. So, like I say, this is a good team now with a good squad behind it. We did that transfer window that I feel like there was a little bit of feeling coming off the back of the transfer window that maybe we hadn't strengthened the first team enough. We'd focused quite a lot on bringing in depth players and squad players. And I'd like to think it's becoming justified now. That the first team players were quite good. I'm ignoring the fact we've conceded. But the majority of the starters we had last year were good. And we've just added in similar quality of players around them so that we can make those changes when we need to make the changes. All that being said, we might be dropping points here against Wolves, which does make that I'm so great speech a little less impactful. So fingers crossed we can score the late winner with the makeshift front 4. We've got no strength in depth. They're all rubbish. We don't have a backup striker. It's all gone wrong, etc., etc. We're still undefeated. That's the main thing. And now we head to Sunderland, who are in a relegation battle in the Premier League. They're in rotten form, and we've got a real chance of booking a spot in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup, which, I mean, we beat Man City. We knocked them out. The Carabao Cup is winnable for a team going well in the Championship, potentially. On that note, in fact, there's not a huge number of big clubs even left in it. There's Man United, there's Liverpool, Spurs maybe, but there's a lot of beatable teams left in this competition. Wouldn't it be silly if we won the Carabao Cup from the Championship? And we're going to try and do it whilst proving my point about the strength and depth up front. We're trying to get games into this front 4, so we're actually completely changing the front 4 from the last match. Costello's going to come in midfield as well. Hogsberg comes back in at right back, so we have got the 5 centre backs on the pitch at the same time. Costello and Tingy in midfield, and then that front 4 of Farah, Rabaj, Mbappe, and Thompson. Let me just make sure we've got adequate backups on the bench. Yeah, we've got Higgins, Tyjon, Harley, Wang. They're all on the bench. So we are good to go with a rotated team against a struggling Sunderland. And if it doesn't go to plan, we can bring on the heavy hitters in the second half. Sunderland, of course, have got Fuller in their team. They signed off us back in the summer. He went there because he was disappointed at not being able to play in the Premier League for us. I really want to have the last laugh on him. If we can go up this year while Sunderland get relegated, and I would like him to have a good long look at the front four, knowing that he could have been a part of it. We only signed Rabaj to replace him, so he'd have been playing today. He was ahead of Mbappe in my pecking order, and he's playing today. So Fuller could have been part of what we're building here at Blackburn, but instead he's gone to Sunderland to be in a relegation battle. So I'd like to beat them today to really hammer that point home. My badges have got all twisted. There you go. We've put my Blackburn badge the right way up again. And my Persona badge might be the right way up underneath it. It's near enough. At least you can't even read that one. At least it's horizontal like it's supposed to be. Right, we have been the better team, at least in terms of creating chances early on in this match. Sunderland not yet had a shot. We've only had two, and one of them we missed. And Sunderland are also having more of the possession. It seems like it's going to be a slightly different cup tie to the one we played against Manchester City in the previous round, where we were the home team, obviously being the away team. It's going to be that little bit harder. But if we are looking to get promoted to the Premier League, and if what I say is true about a lot of these players being good enough to play in the Premier League, because some of them were there before with Blackburn, like Hogsberg, and some of them we've brought in with a view to them being good enough. We'd like someone like Fuller, we've not brought him in, Farah, sorry, we've not brought him in just to be a squad player this season. He's been brought in to be a long-term member of this squad, including being in the Premier League. So Ethan Mbappe demonstrating that he's still got it. He's still only 27. And that is a decent finish from him. As, like I say, one of the second string back four. And he is, at the moment, pushing hardest to maybe squeeze into that first team. Because remember, Rob Harley can play anywhere across the front four. So although Rob Harley is our right winger normally, he could move into any of the other spots. And yeah, everyone else is playing very, very well. But if Mbappe plays well and scores goals, he can push in on that right-hand side and Harley can move around and we can make space for him. If any of the other four decide to drop off a little bit. Thompson's still struggling to get going in a Blackburn shirt. He's had multiple seasons of high double figures of goals for Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship, but he's not really looked the part in a Blackburn shirt just yet. And it's not the end of the world, as he's effectively our third choice striker, because if Higgins were to get injured, we'd put Tyjon or Harley up front. You could argue Thompson's the fourth choice striker, but he is only the second out and out striker that we've got at the club. And it would be nice to get him scoring some goals. But Mbappe goes past his man again. He's having a good game today. And Mbappe gives the ball away, but then wins it back again. So to be fair, he's still having a good game today. And now Hogsberg looking for the overlap, and he does go past his man, looking for another Blackburn player and can't find one. He was looking for Costello, missed him completely, but they've just aimlessly lumped the ball forward and we just get it straight back again. And Mbappe again gives the ball away. Ever since I said he was playing well, he's just giving the ball away a lot. And now it's Farah, who we've not seen very much of at all today. I'd like a bit more out of him, but this is good football. Everybody linking up nicely, and Thompson once again missing a big chance. He's had a couple of big opportunities today, and he's not doing himself any favours when it comes to getting game time in the league, because of how poorly he's played today. And he's played in a lot of this cup run and hasn't particularly played very well in any of it. And now our former player Fuller looking to build something down this right-hand side, and Sunderland are slicing through our five centre-backs with ease there. I don't know how they've made that look so comfortable when they've looked absolutely out of it for the rest of the match, but apparently it doesn't matter how many defenders you've got. If they all decide to stop defending at the same time, stuff like that happens. We are going to offer some encouragement. We are also glancing nervously at our bench and deciding how many of the big four we bring on at the same time. We probably don't need to bring all four on because Mbappe's playing well, but I think three of them are all about to come on. and come on to try and make a difference. And we might be bringing him on immediately if we concede again here. Hogsberg heads it clear. Mbappe flicks it on a little bit further, but it goes straight to a Sunderland player. And Mbappe, again, doing well, winning the ball back. He's done some good defensive work for us today. Ball over the top. Thompson must be offside, surely. Surely? I mean, he scored. Yeah, I mean, he was an absolute mile offside. And I think that's the final straw with him. Learn to stay on side, you absolute wombat. Right, Higgins is coming on for him. We're going to bring on Harley on the left. And then we'll bring on... Where's Tyjon? Is he not there? Oh, he's there. Yeah, so we'll bring those three on for now. Wang will be coming on pretty soon as well, I imagine. But we'll have to sacrifice Mbappe to bring him on. And then we could potentially lose one of the centre-backs and bring on a slightly more attacking option further back as well. One of our more attacking fullbacks, maybe. Now, Farah, with what is going to be his final contribution, because he is about to come off, plays it into Rabaj, who's also about to come off. It's back with Farah, and Farah's scored. Is that going to change the substitutions? I don't think it gives me the option to change the substitutions. I mean, two of the guys who are coming off have just combined quite well there. And that's the first good thing Farah's done in a Blackburn shirt. But it doesn't give me the option to change my mind about the changes. So he scores and immediately gets hooked. And now it's Hogsberg with the corner, and it's straight into the hands of the Sunderland goalkeeper. But I mean, I guess it is quite a statement to make when you go ahead in the game again to be able to bring on your three best attacking players. And Harley plays it into Tyjon, and he should have just squared it to Higgins. And we could have had the three of them combining within 2 minutes of being on the pitch and put the game out of sight and get us into the quarter-final of the competition. But alas, Tyjon was looking for glory of his own. And now Stojanovic plays it forward to Mbappe, who lays it off to Tyjon. And we've got men over here. It's 4 against 3. Tyjon across to Higgins, back to Tyjon. What a counter-attacking goal. And Tyjon scores again. And it's 3-1. And the attacking changes have made an immediate impact. And again, this is great work from Mbappe, because it gets cleared to him. He's the only man forward, and he does brilliantly there to lay it off to Tyjon. And then from that point on, we've got 4 against 3, and Sunderland just can't cope. I mean, Mbappe's in acres of space. We could have gone to him. Instead, it goes back to Tyjon, and he scores. Fantastic example of counter-attacking football. What a lovely, lovely goal. Right, Mbappe's tired, so Wang can come on for him, and we'll just swap those two over. And then I think we'll just take off Tingy, bring on Armstrong, and look to see out the game. 3-1 up. I think that's worthy of some praise to be 3-1 up away from home against a Premier League team. And I think it demonstrates just how good our attacking players are. Certainly good enough to beat the likes of Sunderland if and when we get promoted to the Premier League. So I think we've got another corner here. We've got a chance to make it 4 and really start to embarrass them. We're going for an outswinger, which is not like us at all. But there is the outswinger. It's low, and I think it was Higgins who got on the end of it. I mean, it was not a typical corner at all, but it very nearly bore fruit. But it was pushed away by the goalkeeper. We're into the quarterfinal, and we're obviously going to have to keep an eye on this Carabao Cup run now, because we've got a genuine chance in that. Can we see who else has made it through? I mean, Liverpool have made it through. Man United don't play yet. Bournemouth and Spurs, one of them's going to knock the other one out. But I don't know when the next round is. So it's the quarterfinal, which is drawn in a few days' time. And I guess we'll be playing our quarterfinal in the next episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.